I'm here today. I'm going to show how to take a regular digital image and turn it into a image that looks something like a Holga or Diane camera. This method is pretty flexible, very flexible, and it's easy to make adjustments on it once you've done it. So it's easy to adjust and change how the look goes. So right here it goes. I'm going to show you how I do it. Here's my image that I've adjusted in Lightroom and opened in Photoshop. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the layer panel, and it's a background image. I'm just going to change that to just a regular layer that I can edit. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I'm going to do that by using the keyboard shortcut Command J, so that I have a copy. Now I have two copies of the layer. Go back to the original layer, and now I'm going to add a black and white adjustment layer. Down here, and go to the black and white. Now nothing will change because it's hidden up by this top layer. That's okay. Don't worry about it right now. You don't need to do adjustments on there yet. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to this top layer, and I'm going to first thing I'm going to do is convert it to for smart filter. So I'm going to go to Filter, Convert for Smart Filters. That'll take a minute. Once that's done, then you'll have a little icon where it shows it's for smart filters. I should move this over here so you can see it more. So right here, it's set up for smart filters. Now I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, and I'm going to go to Gaussian Blur, and I'm going to set it at about 20. Again, this is adjustable, so you can go back and change this how you like that. But 20 is a good starting point, so I'm going to change that to 20 and just set it there. Now it looks like we have a big blurred picture here, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. We're going to continue on here. The next thing I'm going to stay on that layer. We're going to change the blending mode, and we'll go up here to the blending mode, and I'm going to change that to luminosity, like so. And now, because I have a black and white layer, we have a black and white image. Now the next thing we're going to do is staying on this layer again. We're going to go to the fill, and we're going to drop the fill down until we get it to some level that we like it. And again, you're welcome to play with this. Generally, you're going to be somewhere between 50 and 60, 70%. It depends on how much blur you have here, but I'm just going to adjust it down to where I like it. All right, that sets it there. Now, we're getting closer. Going back to the black and white adjustment layer, we go over here, and there is a panel over here. It shows you all the things you can do. And again, this is a point where if you want to adjust how it looks, you can. But then I'm going to look at that, and I'm going to take that fill layer, and I'm going to pull that down until I start seeing some color. And I'm going to pull it down until I get kind of a soft color that I like. In this case, I'm down about fill of 69. But again, you can adjust that however you like. So now I'm right there. One of the things you can do here too as well is you can add a tint if you like. There's a little in the click box over here that you can add a tint that will add a little bit of. In this case, it looks a little bit like it's been fogged, which is very common. I'm going to leave that off, but I might play with it later. So at that point right here, it's pretty flexible. You can still do it. You can do a lot. You can do a lot of adjustments here. You can adjust the fill. You can adjust the blur. But I'm going to go a little bit further here. I'm going to go back to my original layer, my bottom layer, and I'm going to convert it for smart filters. And there I see it's converted for smart filter. Then I'm going to go in again. I'm going to go in a filter blur. This time I'm going to choose an iris blur. And that's going to bring it up and give me a little dialog box. I should say I should go back and do something here. I should, before I go there, I'm going to hit the equal button. I'm going to go back. Before I go there, I'm going to go ahead and crop this because I want to crop it to look like a 120, like most Diane cameras have. So I'm going to hit the crop button. And I'm going to, whoops, there. I'm going to adjust it to where I want it. Alright, like it right there. I'm going to hit that, and then it's going to go through. We'll work there. It figures it all out. Now I'm back here. Okay, now I'm going to go back here to my, sorry, I'm going to go back to my blur gallery here. And this is an iris blur. And this has a little dialogue that shows you some things, and I'm going to move it around here, and I'm going to grab the sides of it. I'll make it a little bit bigger here, a little bigger here, a little bigger here. And this has some sliders you can adjust. The most important is the blur, which will blur the edges. They're right here. There's some other adjustments in here you can do as well. Boku. I'm not going to mess with that right now, but you can certainly play with it. Hit the enter key, and that's going to bring you back to where you're at here. Now we're looking pretty good. Do last couple of things. Go up here, start at the top layer, and then I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to fill that with black. It's my foreground color. Oh. That was black. And then I'm just going to put a I'm just going to create a little vignette here. I'm going to modify that selection. I'm going to feather it. I'm going to feather a lot because we really want it to look something about 100 pixels. And then I want to take this and X. Now that edge is too dark, so we're just going to bring the fill down until we get it to something that we like, so that it's a little bit dark.
Put it somewhere else.
Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a frame. So I'm going to add one more layer and bring out my pen tool. Now I'm just going to create a frame. My computer's thinking there. I don't know what it's thinking. My shift key to keep the line straight. And I'm just going to bend a corner here. Corner. Straight. Shift down. Straight. I need to come around here. I'm going to bend another corner. straight. A little bit. Another corner. Come up here. We'll do the last corner. Alright, so there's what my frame is going to look like. I'm going to make a selection out of that. And sorry I did that fast. I'm going to make a right click on that and I'm going to make a selection. Turn that selection. I'm going to feather it just a little bit, 2 pixels, just to smooth out a little bit. I'm going to reverse that selection by Shift Command I. That would be Shift Control I on a Windows unit. And I'm going to fill in with my foreground color, which is black, and then deselect it. And there's pretty much the finished image, looking pretty much like I think it looks pretty much like a Holga camera. One of the things you can do to add to this is, if it's a little too sharp, some digital cameras are really sharp. You want to add a little bit more, you go back to the original layer, and again, it's a smart layer, so this again is totally editable. Go get into blur, go into Gaussian blur, and this time you only want to put a very small blur, say 4, maybe, and then maybe 2, maybe just 2, just enough to soften the detail a little bit. And there's pretty much the finished image. Now if I wanted to do this in black and white, all I'd have to do is click up around the black and white, adjust my fill back so that it's all back into black and white. It's there. You go over here and change my tint. If I wanted, that's a sort of a sepia, or we could do a sort of a blue, like that, blue tint, or you could do a do whatever, find out whatever tint you want. Again, then you can adjust that too by adjusting the fill, so you can adjust as much color or little color as you want. Add a little bit of color, not a little color, just depending on what you want to do. Thanks. Thank you very much. That's my first video. I hope that was instructive. Thank you.